Things have been a bit wonky for the Minnesota Timberwolves so far this season, but what they have in their three-headed bench monster is easily the most encouraging aspect of their season so far. There's definitely some fit issues within the starting five right now, but in Naz Reid, Dante DiVincenzo, and Nickeil Alexander-Walker, Minnesota has a trio of players who fit extremely well in any lineup combination and frankly work way better than any of the starters outside of Anthony Edwards. So far this season, the Wolves hold a massive 29.5 net rating when DiVincenzo, Reid and Alexander-Walker are on the floor. Amazingly, that's the only trio that have played over 100 minutes together that hold a positive net rating. Right now, this trio and the obvious superstardom of Anthony Edwards are the only things holding up this team. And there was no more obvious example of that than in last night's blowout win over the Charlotte Hornets. These three dominated their 17 minutes of action together, just as they have all season, and on offense particularly, they flowed like liquid gold within Minnesota's scheme. On this possession, they worked into that fake 21 or pistol action between DiVincenzo and Naz, so they can get into some high-low action between Conley and Randle in the middle, but Naz drops back into a wide pin down here again for DiVincenzo, and they keep that ball hopping between those two and Randle, and eventually the drive, kick, and move offense results in a clean look for Naz in his sweet spot. This is an offense that at times over the past season has looked stagnant and sticky, but it just moves better when these three are on the floor. Here Alexander-Walker could recycle it to Edwards, but he splits the court open with this smart pass, and Reid is already chasing up to set that ball screen when the pass arrives. Now it's DDV engaging the defender, and Naz rolling in behind him, and it's easy points on the pick and roll pocket pass. Right now, I think DiVincenzo especially is a catalyst for both ball and body movement for this team. He's really the fuel for good offense. Watch him on this possession. Right away, he's coming up to get the handoff, and then he just keeps moving. He pitches it off to Naz and curls around him. Conley and Gobert are in the pick and roll on the other side of the floor, so he's setting a screen on the weak side. He sees that Conley needs an outlet, so he drifts deeper into the corner to receive that pass. The defense closes out, so he's skating past that. That's going to collapse the defense, and then he's got his running mates waiting for him, and Naz Reid makes the unselfish play to feed Alexander-Walker for the open jumper. Even when the play isn't necessarily designed for him, DiVincenzo just seems to make himself useful in the offense. Here he's setting the flex screen for Conley to curl out for a three-point look, but when the play breaks down and it swings back to Alexander-Walker, he's moving backdoor from the opposite corner to collect the dime and then pay it forward to Gobert. DiVincenzo is such a smart mover toward the rim, which is somewhat rare for someone who's such a prolific shooter, and it really greases the wheels of these three-headed bench monster lineups. When you throw that in the blender with Naz Reid's ability to come off flare screens or pick and pop actions and just bang threes, and Nickeil Alexander-Walker's tendency to just knit it all together, both offensively and defensively, you can see why these three guys are shouldering such a big burden for the Timberwolves so far this season. It all just flows a lot better when they're on the floor, instead of some of the other lineup combinations that the Wolves can put out there. Even a little three-man action as simple as this, where Reid sets the away screen for DiVincenzo, he clears out to the weak side so Reid and Alexander-Walker have all of this space to work the pick and roll, and Alexander-Walker can get downhill because Gibson has to stick to Reid here to shut down his shooting threat. These actions just feel really simple and really effective with these guys on the floor. Like I said, things just feel and look and work better when they're out there, or at least two of the three are out there. The Wolves look more like the buzzsaw team they were last season when that's happening. Going forward, it's going to be interesting to see how much they can get to these three-man lineups, and how much they have to tinker with around the fringes to ensure that they see as many minutes as possible. Thanks again for watching Howls and Growls. Please subscribe for more.